Hey soul family, welcome back to the channel. This is the White Feather Tarot, and in today's reading we're taking a look at your soul's archetype, the role that you're meant to play in this lifetime. You know, there's a reason you feel pulled towards certain paths, patterns, or even people, because your soul came here with a mission. And in today's reading we're uncovering your soul's archetype, the energetic role that your spirit chose before incarnating. So whether you're here to be a healer, a visionary, a guide, or something maybe even more rare and mysterious, this is where you'll find the truth all about it. And yeah, we'll be shuffling your tarot deck, the regular one, the Rider-Waite-Smith. Ooh, we've got the first pile. We'll be shuffling it. And by the way, if you prefer to pick your piles using your zodiac signs, you will find a timestamp for that down in the description box. If you prefer for spirit to pick your pile today, you will also find a timestamp for that down in the description box. Otherwise, let's take a look at what tarot cards popped up for this reading. For pile number 1, as you can see, it is the Page of Swords. For pile number 2, it's the 9 of Wands. And for pile number 3, it is the Death card. As always, if you prefer to pick your piles using your crystals, then let me add these right now. There we go. So for pile number 1, you've got the Mookaite Jasper. For pile number 2, you've got the Goldstone. And for pile number 3, you've got the Smokey Quartz. So take a look at which one of these 3 piles you're the most drawn to, and this will be the pile for you here today. In case you feel drawn to more than one pile, maybe even all of the piles, trust your intuition. It's meant to take you to the pile that will be showing you all about your soul's archetype. As you can see from today's reading, your soul is ready to speak. And so I would say take a deep breath, let your intuition guide you, and choose the pile that calls to your essence. And once you're ready, you'll find the timestamps down in the description box, which will take you straight to your readings. And please note that in a moment, I will be assigning different zodiac signs to each pile. If this is something that you're interested in, please stick around. If not, please pause the video and take as much time as you need. But if you prefer to pick your piles using your zodiac signs, then my dear soul family, welcome. This part of the introduction has been created specifically for you so that you can do just that. All right. Let me pull out your crystals. By the way, if you know your North Node, I highly recommend you go by your North Node today. If you do know it. If not, go by your Sun, Moon, or Rising. All right. So let's see what signs we have for each pile. For pile number 1, you've got Pisces, Libra, Virgo, as well as Aries. For pile number 2, you've got Gemini, Cancer, Scorpio, as well as Aquarius. And for pile number 3, you've got Taurus, Sagittarius, Leo, as well as Capricorn. So, my dear soul family, these are the zodiac signs and their association to each of the piles in today's reading. And once you're ready, you'll find the timestamps down in the description box. Click on your timestamps, which will take you straight to your readings. And please note that in a moment, I will be starting the Spirit Picks Your Pile section. If you're interested in that, please stick around. If not, please pause the video and take as much time as you need. If you wish for Spirit to pick your pile, welcome. As you know, I assign a different tarot card to each pile. The Magician presents pile number 1, the High Priestess presents pile number 2, and the Empress pile number 3. And then I shuffle your cards around until I see one of them drawing my attention, usually by it not being passed or picked up. And I will know that this is your, there we go, chosen pile. So, my dear soul family, your chosen pile by Spirit today is pile number 2. So, I truly hope you've enjoyed the different ways in which you can pick your pile and that they've brought clarity in helping you find your pile. Once you're ready, as you know, you'll find the timestamps down in the description box, which will take you straight to your readings. I truly hope you enjoy your reading today, and I will see you in your readings. Hi, pile number 1. Welcome to your reading. Today, we're taking a look at your soul's archetype and the role you're meant to play in this lifetime, the sort of energetic role that your spirit chose before incarnating. So these are the intentions for today's reading. These also are the decks that I'll be using. If you're interested in knowing the names of any of them, you'll find that I always list them below for you guys. But very quickly, let me introduce your pile to you. Your crystal is the beautiful Mookaite Jasper. Your significator card is the Page of Swords. And if you've picked your pile using your zodiac signs, then in that case, the signs for this pile are Pisces, Libra, Virgo, as well as Aries. Welcome to your reading. If these are not your signs, please don't worry about it. It's just another way for others to pick their piles as well. Okay, as for this deck, I'll be using it as your blind spot that could really help you out in your mission and who you are and the role that you're meant to play. For today's reading. But I'll keep it to the side for now so that I remember to pull it. All right, let's take a look at your oracle cards first. So you've got the Father, and that doesn't mean that this is your archetype, but this is an archetype deck. But we've got a clue here. We've got the Father archetype. We've got, I wonder what will happen next. So ready to adventure, precipice of change, as well as pause before action. Okay. You've got, the unicorn. You certainly have a unique archetype in this lifetime, playing a highly unique role. Very few of you are playing this role. And you've got inviting. As I was reading it, this looked like a closed eye with eyelashes. So yeah, wonder, I'm gonna take that as a message. Oh, look, we've got an eye here. Maybe opening up people's eyes. That could be it, but you know, we'll find out. You've got inviting. And that's a card of power. This deck shows the types of powers, and that's why I chose it for this reading. And you've got inviting. We'll see why this is a power in a moment, but let's take a look at your tarot cards first. You've got the Strength card with the keyword fortitude. Okay, the Lotus, I believe we've got the Goddess Saraswati. I think I've seen it before. I think it's the Goddess Saraswati. the goddess of writing, creativity, and all of that. Art. You've got the magician with inner skills. Seven of Pentacles with progress. The Ace of Swords with intellect. Yeah, I think Page of Swords being your significator card, the father. There's definitely something regarding, and I say father because it reminds me of the Hierophant, the father, which is a teacher. I'm starting to pick up that your soul has a unique teacher role, not the usual teacher role, because even in the Magician, which is the card of skills, you can see her holding a book and she's teaching others. It's almost like teaching the mortals, a goddess teaching the mortals. Okay. And you've got the Two of Swords, confusion. Even there's an even book here. I think your archetype is the teacher. My dear pile number one. Let's place that one here. Yeah, I really think your archetype is the teacher. The master of expressing truth. Inviting perhaps the it looks like you are going to teach with the unicorn in a very unique way in this lifetime, using something unique. Who knows, maybe technology in our day and age or something. I don't know. But your teachings are going to be so unique, presented in a unique way that is going to, on its own, invite others, the mortals, to come and listen to you. I think there's an element of creativity because of the goddess Saraswati, the strength card. Your strength is your creativity, the way with the writing, the way you express yourself. So creativity, the expression or the form of expression that you're going to use. And you'll find that you are this person in your regular life. I feel like you are such a unique soul. The way you express yourself it draws people to you. So from the way you dress, from the way you speak, your interests, your knowledge, just naturally draws people to you. I would say the energy that exudes from you as a soul is naturally, even without you really yet having to do much, just naturally draws people to you. I feel like you're gonna set straight, your soul's gonna set straight a lot of confusion, especially blind spots. Speaking of blind spots, we've got the deck here. Maybe I can pull out a card regarding people's blind spots, the specific blind spot that you will be teaching people out of, like you're gonna show people their blind spot. So that will be the card for the people. And I will pull out a card for you. So that's your blind spot that, if you know about, will help you either play that role right away or remove the confusions in your role, because I see two aspects here. You're removing the blindfold from people, but you yourself as well, with the Two of Swords, you want to take out your blindfold. Okay, so what I want to do is take a look at the father archetype. Perhaps this would give us more, but what I'm picking up here is your strength is in your creativity and in the way you express yourself. as well as your aura and your uniqueness. We're talking to a pile that has a very unique energy. You can't miss that pile. You look at this pile and you instantly feel that there is something absolutely unique about them. It's the energy that you're exuding. You're here with the Seven of Pentacles to create progress in the world. You're here to create progress. You're here to give information with the Ace of Swords. Bring clarity, especially to the specific areas that you and others can't see. There's areas that people don't understand. Okay, so let's take a look at the Father archetype and see what it says. The Father archetype. Am I missing something? Oh yeah, Father archetype is number 6. The Hierophant is 5. Anyways, so it says, in the endless cycle of the seasons that cool and warm the soil and fill the dry steam's beds with murmuring water and ceaselessly dry the black earth, hardened by the heat wave, law, principle, authority, and the same time, love and protection, carry the soul of the Father who supports and guides the generations living in the world to certain and known goals. Do you see? Who supports and guides the generations living in the world to certain and known goals. Let's read this part again. In the endless cycle of the seasons that cool and warm the soil and fill the dry steam beds with murmuring water and ceaselessly dry the black earth hardened by the heat wave, law, discipline, authority, and at the same time love and protection, carry the soul of the Father who supports and guides the generations living in the world to a certain and known goals. Clear Father who supports and aims the shaky bow toward the firm center of the target, and dark Father, Father of the shadow who reveres his own image reflected in the oval of the mirror and regulates to his law and is not moved by the gentleness of mercy. Clear Father who supports and aims the shaky bow toward the firm center of the target, and dark Father, Father of the shadow who reveres his own image reflected in the oval of the mirror and regulates to his law and is not moved by the gentleness of mercy. The Father does not beget. The Father of the night, lover of himself, son of Cronus, descendant of the violent Uranus, he envies and mauls generations. He sits on the square throne, stable root of power. With his eyes he observes, judging the world. Bloodthirsty and pale in appearance, he fears as a terrible king the delay of the end of his empire. The way I'm seeing this, especially that it says the master who envies the pupil is a bad mentor. The way I'm seeing this is something around removing the shadow, the darkness, Father of the night. Removing the shadow part of education, or the way knowledge is in our day and age. While it's abundant, right? In our day and age, knowledge is abundant. With a click on your computer or on your phone, you get whatever information you want. But there is a strong shadow in our day and age. And I feel like through, you see, we're getting the cool and warm. And I feel like you are the Father archetype that is here to bring that balance back through love and protection, carrying the soul to support them and guide the generations living in the world to certain and known goals. So I'm seeing something about a type of dynamics that happens with information through cycles. First, it's given, it's amazing, and then it's the father who envies the son that just taught them. And so there comes the shadowy part, and it's used against everyone. And that's not me talking about history, by the way. This is just what I'm seeing through your cards. Maybe in the particular area where you are guiding and teaching people in, or maybe in general. The energy of the cards are showing us something in general throughout history. In any case, all I'm trying to say is, when it comes to your particular story, you're here to rectify. You're the light father during a time where there's a huge effect from the shadow father. The shadow father, the light father comes in, spreads knowledge, teaches, helps everyone grow. Then the shadow father comes in, and there is using this knowledge against everyone, or corruption happens. Then comes the light father. And it's not all bad or all good. It's just the cycle of life. And perhaps both archetypes or both types of fathers are needed for the growth. One father lightens, it's like the good and the bad cup. One type, although looks chaotic, could be pushing everyone to appreciate that knowledge, seek that knowledge, become curious. Page of Swords, right? Become very curious. Then comes the light father that gives that information. Then everyone sits in comfort, which is what we see here, by the way, with Alice in Wonderland. It is a time of comfort. They're sitting down, relaxing, and then Alice becomes very curious. She leaves her sister and goes down the rabbit hole. So we see the dynamic of the light and the shadow father, that we're in a time where there is a shadow. Although there's a lot of information, there is a shadow, and people are growing curious. Everyone wants to know more, wants to know the truth because of the shadow, whether, again, it's in a particular area or generally. Then rises the light father. And this is your unique particular role in this lifetime. And obviously, that's the unique part, is in how you're going to draw people in using your creativity in a time where people really want to know. They're ready. They're ready to listen to you. Very interesting. So people are curious, and also your teaching type or guiding type. Teaching, guiding is one that definitely draws people's attention, and you bring them down this rabbit hole because everybody's ready to adventure. Precipice of change. Yeah, you come in a time on the precipice of change where the world is ready for that change. It's that pause before action, meaning it's that calm, that day and age where we're comfortable, technology does things for us, all of that, before there is action. And here action means great evolution. Okay, really nice. Before we continue with your reading, I want to take a look at people's blind spot, because it greatly has to do with your role. You're here to remove a particular confusion or blind spot. So that definitely helps us with understanding more about what your soul is here to play, is meant to play in this lifetime when it comes to your teacher, your guide archetype. So it's number 16. Doesn't it look like a hot balloon? And in my opinion, helping everyone rise, helping everyone transcend, helping humanity transcend in a critical time, unique time. So unique teaching in a unique time of the evolution of human beings. Before I read it, I just want to make sure, you see the light here where the air is less dense, so it rises. I feel like it's not about the amount, the quantity of information, it's the quality. So here it's not about the amount of information that you're giving, because with air, it's all over the place, it's everywhere. I feel like you're coming here to give quality information. That is what helps everyone rise. All right, let's read the blind spot pertaining to this card. It's number 16. And it says control. That's the blind spot that you're here to adjust, so to speak. So you've got, if you have drawn this sigil, you are doing what you are doing for control. Your hidden motive of control is causing you pain and other people pain as well. Most likely, trying to control the inevitable or control the uncontrollable. As a result, you are feeling powerless, terrified, and out of control. You are focusing on something as if it is something that you can control, and as if controlling it will prevent pain. This is especially true when you are trying to control things external to you. I feel like this is definitely what you're showing people here, is you're the light in a time of this darkness, where information is being used, whether in your specific field or maybe in our history, who knows. Information is being used to control, but as you can see, the blind spot here is that this is something that's uncontrollable. You can't do that. And if we think about it, we are spiritual souls at the end of the day. No matter what one would do, we are spiritual souls who will always pick up on the synchronicities, pick up intuitively on things, and information will always be there. And something, it seems like, that you can't control. All right, as your reading is teaching us. So this is especially true when you're trying to control things external to you. It is a superbly powerless position to put yourself in, to require them to do something else so that you can feel good. In this way, trying to control puts you squarely out of control. This is why it could be, and you remember here we talked about the Father being the square, and here that other energy is squarely out of control, just showing you the synchronicity. This is why it could be said that control is an illusion. Look at the situation and ask yourself, how am I trying to control in this scenario? Criticism is often an attempt to gain control of others. We're only critical of something when we are afraid we will be affected by something. Criticism is a cry for help in disguise. It is a cry for help that says, I feel powerless to others, and so I can't trust myself to make myself feel good, and especially to feel emotionally safe. And so I need you to correct this thing that is going to cause me pain so I don't have to feel bad. Control is impregnated with disapproval. If I'm going to control myself, I am disapproving of myself in some way and disrupting of myself in some way. If I'm controlling of other people, I'm disapproving of them and distrusting them in some way. If you've drawn the sigil, constantly trying to assert your power to influence or direct your own and or other people's behavior, as well as the course of events, is the problem at hand. You are controlling yourself and or controlling others in ways that do not benefit anyone. So yeah, let's read the last part. What behaviors and course of events exactly are you trying to avoid? Yeah, so that moves on, that continues on with the other archetype, as we understand from your reading. And I think I totally picked it up. Remember when we were talking about something being more dense and less dense? And so look at the Wi-Fi here. You may be doing something online, by the way. But anyways, there's something here about, remember when we said it's not the quantity of information, it's the quality. I think I've changed that. It's not about, quality, actually, it's close. So you're not coming here to spoon feed everyone with information. That's why you got a very unique role. You're not here to give information. You are here to teach people how to think. And so you're inviting people to think for themselves. Wow, wow, so beautiful. And here, Alice's sister was kind of the teacher, and Alice went on her own journey down the rabbit hole. And so it's not going to ever anymore. So that, okay, I have many ideas and I wanted to say them at the same time. So it looks like the past father, the shadowy father that's casting this shadow that you're removing, kind of like the information was there, but it's twisted, as we've read in the blind spot, criticizing if anyone comes the near any type of good information, that it's criticized or something in that particular field or something. So that was the direction of the old shadow father. Here you're like showing people how to think. It doesn't matter what's being criticized. It doesn't matter the full amount of information. You're teaching people to think, and maybe even, you know, crown chakra, how to, like the antenna, yeah, how to, just like the Wi-Fi, connect with their higher selves, with themselves, with the universe. So, oh my God, don't tell me. You might even be freeing the humanity forever from having to rely on a teacher, on the Hierophant, on someone to give them information, and then, you know, have this discussion of this is right, this is wrong in the first place. You're helping people elevate, and it's not about collecting as much information as possible. It's now about how to think, and you will even progress. You will move everyone from how to think to even connecting and getting their own information. And please don't be overwhelmed. If you're going like, whoa, I'm going to do that, take it day by day, just showing you the energy of the pile that you were drawn to. Yeah, that's what you're doing. Like I said, you're in a very critical moment of time. You came at a very critical moment of time where humanity is evolving, things are shifting. It's not going linear anymore. You can see that there's a curvature here representing that things are really changing. It's as if everyone's moving to another timeline. You're helping everyone evolve, really. And that's why you've got the unicorn. You do, my dear pile number one, have a very unique role. So we were talking about how your aura is inviting. Your aura just makes everyone curious. It's the nature of that and the energy that you exude. You will also find with the magician that you are a person who is naturally talented at many things. We do know that the magician has the four elements, the swords, the pentacles, the cups, as well as the wands. So in my opinion, you're good at many things. If dare I say, I mean, perhaps such a bold statement that I'll be making, but I'm just going to say it. Dare I say, you are an archetype that would be good at anything you put your mind to. And maybe this is the unique way of thinking that you will be passing on to others, help progress with. Very interesting. Let's continue pulling out your cards and finding out more. You've got the Six of Cups with memories. You will make, by the way, with the Six of Cups, in my opinion, this is not old memories, in my opinion. This is talking about how you're going to make revolutionary shift that will be absolutely memorable. You've got the Eight of Pentacles with practice. This is the card of mastery. You're not here to do something well or do a big change or do something good or pass on something. And I'm not saying this to belittle all of these things. These are the things that got us to where we are today. And without these things, the little change here and the major change there, which obviously were brilliant in their own because of the circumstances given. So this is not me like disparaging or belittling the efforts before you. In fact, these are the very things that allow you to do this very unique thing today. But what I was trying to say is, it looks to me like what you're doing is memorable because you are not here just to make a change. Your soul's here to help others practice until everyone is a master, until everyone becomes their own little master, their own little maybe scientist, their own little knowledgeable person that can do it, that can make a difference for themselves. Yeah, that is the role that your soul's playing. And I think the cards did a wonderful job in really giving us all of these elements. It was just really amazing how each card showed this super clearly. You're going to be doing this using your creativity, your way of writing, your eloquency, your way of writing, and many skills that you have. And finally, I want to look at the blind spot that you have, my dear pile number one, when it comes to your soul's archetype and what you're meant to play in this lifetime. What is your blind spot that if you pick it up, you're going to be like in this journey, moving quickly and helping make this huge change? Because if we clear out your blind spot, we're clearing out everybody's blind spot. So you've got the sigil number 3. Let's take a look at your guidebook, which will be your final message in this reading now that we know everything pertaining to it. And you've got number 3, which is their motives. All right, very quickly. So you've got, I'm actually going to read the whole thing. This is the end of your message. If you're like, I've heard enough, you can always move on to like another reading or another pile, or move like onto another video. I hope you would stay, but yeah, just letting you know so that you have the freedom. So it says their motives. If you have drawn this sigil, you are not seeing the true motives of the other person, or perhaps multiple other people. Maybe you're not seeing the true motives of that other shadow, right? That we have been discussing, or maybe your own, who knows? We'll find out. Or perhaps multiple other people involved in this situation. Very interesting. Unfortunately, if you were unaware of where their positive intentions, you would have drawn a sigil that assists you with your own fear and distrust. Unfortunately, if what you were unaware of were their positive intentions, you would have drawn a sigil that assists you with your own fear and distrust. This sigil assists you with situations where a person has motives and intentions that are not in alignment with your own best interests, and perhaps they have motives that are not in alignment with their own best interests. Sometimes, in order to preserve our idea of a reality that we want to be, sometimes in order to preserve our idea of a reality that we want to be real, we ignore the actual reality. We want to believe that all people have our best interests at heart and also their own. We want to believe that all people have motives that are pure and conscious. If you have drawn this card, this is not the case relative to the situation you are in. So that you can get an idea of what this means, here are some examples. A woman is saying she loves a man, but really she just wants him for his money. A person is really only present and a friend in some a person is really only present and a friend in someone's life because of something they get out of that connection, such as significance, fame by proxy, status, or support, and will vanish the second that need is not being met. A person helps someone with the intention of gaining relationship security through implied indebtedness for having helped. A person says they want to do something that they really hate doing and that isn't in alignment for them to do so that they can get something they want, and ends justify the means approach. Or a person being two-faced, which always implies that true motives are not being exposed. That all of these scenarios have in common is that a person's motives are not what they find them to be. Be aware that people are perfectly capable or even fooling themselves in terms of the truth of their actual motives. See, this whole reading is about truth, truth, truth. What's being shown versus the actual truth. It doesn't matter if the motive is conscious or unconscious. So we're not here to waste our time focusing if whether this is conscious or unconscious, if they mean it or they don't. Maybe they mean it. Maybe they don't mean it. Maybe whoever this person is, or wherever this field is, or wherever this thing is, doing it from the best interest, from the good of their own heart. But at the end of the day, as the sentence is about to say, to be safe in this scenario, you need to be aware of their actual motives. Stay aware that we are perfectly capable of having mixed motives. We can't have motives that are beneficial to those involved at the same time as having motives that are detrimental to those involved. We can have motives that are beneficial to those involved at the same time as having motives that are detrimental to those involved. This world is not black and white, but as long as a motive is subconscious and unseen, it is able to manipulate in ways that could harm all parties involved. So this reading is not here to tell you, oh, people have bad motives. Maybe they do, maybe they don't. That's not what we're doing the reading for. All we need to know is that the truth out there in some area or something is not clear. It's not presented in its entirety. And that includes your role, what you're here to play. So this is saying, keep an open eye and don't start this mission from a place of naivety. This is not here trying to scare you, because in fact this whole reading is putting you in this position that your soul is here to show you. But as we've read that nobody or no thing is in control, by educating yourself with a Page of Swords, keeping an open eye, always learning, always gaining more information, you'll be able to pick up on the things that you may not know now pertaining to your role, pertaining to your very unique and particular role. So I would say be open to feedback, read more, ask more, don't continue to say, that was an accident, that was not meant. You want to look more into things as you're moving into this role, which obviously you are either in or about to get in. With the Page of Swords, I would say you're about to get into this role. If you are in it, then in a more serious way. And all you need to know are two things. First of all, no one's really in control. That's one very important thing that you want to know. Another thing is be open, look at things, look at the rules, ask lawyers, look at the situation better. Just don't move from the fact that, everything's good, everything is rosy, no one wants to do anything bad, or nothing is bad. And it doesn't have to be good or bad because someone wants it to be bad, but that's the reality. Things have, from the shadow father, things have changed. And while it may not always be meant, it is shadow. And you just want to be careful when it comes to treading through this role by always being updated, well read, look at things well, look at your rights with the Page of Swords, find out what your rights are, and that's all. You'll be empowered with knowledge as always. And my dear pile number 1, this is exactly what I see in your reading. I had a lot of fun. The cards were so, what can I say, so playful in how they presented the ideas to us, and I feel like it's mimicking your energy, my dear pile number 1. Sending you so much love. I truly hope you've enjoyed your reading. If you have, please give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel so that you never miss a reading that I upload. And my dear pile number 1, I'll catch you in the next reading. Bye. Hi, pile number 2. Welcome to your reading. Today, we're taking a look at your soul's archetype and the role that you're meant to play in this lifetime. Can't wait to get into your reading. These are the decks that I'll be using. If you're interested in knowing the names of any of them, you'll find that I always list them below for you guys. This will be your tarot deck, oracle cards. This is a deck that I'll be using maybe towards the end of your reading. It shows your blind spot. So as we're exploring your soul's archetype and what you're meant to play in this lifetime, I will also be exploring what your potential blind spot could be so that you can use it to unlock this potential right away at this point of your life, if you're meant to, of course. Right, so very quickly, let me introduce your pile to you. Your crystal is the beautiful Goldstone. Your significator card is the 9 of Wands. And if you've picked your pile using your zodiac signs, then in that case, the signs for this pile are Gemini, Cancer, Scorpio, as well as Aquarius. Welcome to your reading. If these are not your signs, please don't worry about it. It's just another way for others to pick their piles as well. All right, so these are your oracle cards. This is an archetype deck, by the way. It could be exactly your archetype, or it could be showing us something around it. So just a disclaimer before we reveal it. And yeah, let's get straight into it and reveal your oracle cards. I want to start by your animal archetype, actually. So, oh my God, you've got the dragon, such an ethereal, powerful animal. It's a spirit animal. Wow, okay. Powerful pile, no joke. All right, you also have the archetype, the homunculus. What? I've never heard of that before. The homunculus, right? We're going to read it together and see what this is all about. But you can again see that uniqueness. Can't wait to get more information about that. You've got patience. You know, in my opinion, the more powerful you are, the more patient you are, and the slower you're moving. You're not rushing, and then you are feeling calm on the inside. That's true power. It starts from the inside. Also, the turtle. I was going to talk about the tortoise, but I'm sure the turtle is the same. They live for hundreds of years. So I kind of feel like two things. First of all, your role in this lifetime will stay for millennia. It will affect people or the planet or whatever this is for centuries to come. Another thing is, I'm intuitively picking up on the fact that when you are rushing, something becomes short span, and when you are taking it easy, you're able to prolong something. And I don't know why I'm picking up on this idea, but that's the main idea that I'm getting with the dragon and patience. And we'll see what this is trying to say in a while, whether when it comes to whether it is showing us something about your particular archetype or the role that you're playing. And you've got painting the roses red, correcting up errors. Very interesting cards. Let's now take a look at your tarot cards. So, you've got the Page of Wands, the Ten of Pentacles. Oh, looks like I've got to adjust something in the camera here. There we go. Apologies about that. Okay. So you've got the Seven of Cups, Seven of Tides, Seven of Cups. You've got the Three of Wands, the Ace of Wands. Something activates. So let's keep a space here. And oh, you've got the Devil card. That definitely tells me something here, for sure. Seven of Pentacles. Right, let's begin. That's why you've got the guardedness here of the Nine of Wands, being protected. Where do we begin with this reading? Actually, let's begin with the homunculus. I'm so curious. What is this archetype? And look at the protection. Do you see how the hand gesture is like? Like absolute protection here. Which lets me know, it gives me a feeling with all of this fire that your archetype isn't afraid to play with fire because it's got that power that would protect and guard them. Something like that. Or you're going to play with power, maybe that's your role, but you've got power to protect you. But let's see the homunculus. What is this archetype all about? The great mother's womb, humid and warm, produces life and creates the generations that cyclically take place on earth, dying and being reborn in perpetual motion. The wise alchemists, small men, tiny life forms, but shaped in every part in the manner of Prometheus's statues and Proteanian beings, fed for days on horse manure and weaned in stills and glass chambers, the rotten seed of man. The homunculus that lives through the human being it inhabits, observing the world through the window of his eyes, machine and spirit in the machine at the same time, is a magical creature, a golem that numbers and letters bring to life, a dilemma of creation and consciousness, a living creature of metal and rotten seed. You know what I'm picking up? Something about machine and creature, machine spirit in the machine at the same time. Just picking up on intuitively the idea of maybe AI. Perhaps this is when your role genuinely activates or fully activates. Just an intuitive thought. AI and man joining, like maybe you're going to be using AI or something. But anyways, a dilemma of creation and consciousness. See, a golem that numbers and letters bring to life. Is a magical creature, a golem that numbers and letters bring to life. Interesting, right? A dilemma of creation and consciousness, a living creature of metal and rotten seed, a statue begging for a name, a small being, a simulacrum. My apologies, I'll check what that means. A simulacrum. Nice word to learn today. Of pride and arrogance. The act of creation has consequences. The homunculus will punish those who do not embrace it as mother and father, those who create out of mere vanity. Children of a mother's pain will live, having abandoned their creation, as an empty shell with their soul torn from their chest. The magical act of creation distinguishes vanity from responsibility. Wow. Okay. It's a very interesting text, which gives me a lot of personally intuitive ideas, but I want to check what the homunculus means. Hold on. Okay, so it's homunculus, and it's small human or humanoid creature. All right. And I also see that this homunculus archetype is holding the number 5 in their mouth. If you're watching this now, this year, this is year 2025, which in my opinion is kind of talking about how your role is being activated this year. If you're watching this later, I would say it's been fully activated in the year 2025. The dragon means that you are an old soul. I feel like your soul has been around for so long. You've embodied powerful energies. You understand power at a soul level. Very powerful soul. In fact, the archetype here is a spiritual animal. Yeah, I feel like you have a powerful soul. And although you're coming in a small human body, as opposed to how, let's say, how big your soul is, you are a very powerful being, powerful archetype. Yeah, now we understand the timing. The timing means you've been around for so long. Yeah, we were talking about hundreds of years and millennia. I feel like it's way bigger than that. Your soul has been around for so long, many galaxies, many realms. Yeah, you've been around for so long. Your soul seems to be so powerful that there seems to be a calibration or adjustment. Do you see how Alice is coloring the flowers red to make it adjust to the needs and demands? So I see you going through a process of calibration, recalibration to adjust to the human body, given that your soul is very powerful. We don't, of course, know how that works and what that means, but this is what I'm seeing in your cards. There's calibration and readjustments here for a powerful soul. It seems, dare I say, to be in a human body. I don't know what that means, but that seems to be an energy that I am seeing in your cards. And thus the jester of fire, the page of wands. Powerful fire. I'm telling you, like from the beginning, I'm noticing, ooh, you're playing with fire. But then we have the pages, which is young energy. So it's like a powerful soul, the fire, in a small body. And so when people observe you, they're really fooled. Even with the devil card here, the strong people in power, I would say you would fool even the devil, is what I'm trying to say. And I'm not saying that everyone in power is bad. Absolutely far from what I'm saying. I'm saying even those in power that have malicious intentions wouldn't pick up on you. And it's not obvious, especially with the recalibration or something that you've done. This vicious power that you have, strong power that you have, especially with intuition, by the way, with spiritual powers, intuition, or your spiritual role, perhaps, it's not clear. You can't see it. I'm also picking up, when we were reading the guidebook, picking up on the idea that you will be using AI. But sorry, I paused because I just channeled something. We were reading something about the rotten seed in the mother's womb and all of that. It's almost like this soul, pile number 2, has, and I don't know how these things work, and I could be wrong, right? But I will not doubt my intuition, because somehow it's explaining something. So stay open with me in what I'm about to say. The rotten seed and the dragon and something, yeah, the machine, the seed, all of that. I'm just reading it intuitively. There's something about you maybe being a powerful soul that's been around. We've said that. Maybe there's something about elevation. You've become a powerful soul so much that maybe to you coming back to a human body, for example, would be, oh, we're going to the realm of duality, where there is maybe something that to you might be a downgrade, dare I say, but you're here for a powerful mission, and the way you're going to use either AI or your intelligence, right? It doesn't have to be AI, but boy, do I really feel like you're going to be using AI. But anyways, the way you're going to be using your power, especially beginning this year, will demolish something that's been building and piling up with the Seven of Gardens or the Seven of Pentacles for so long. It will demolish a toxic power, a toxic system, toxic bad intentions that are in power, especially something that's been built for so long. So you're coming here with a very powerful role. It's almost like a downgrade, because I don't know what it's like with the upgrade in the first place. But it looks like it's like some form of downgrade to come as a human, but you're coming here on a very important role. And that is to demolish some toxic infrastructure, I would say, that's perhaps hurting human beings. And the way you look is fooling. And I think you partly worked on that to adapt, but your power shows to those who can see, can recognize you. And those who recognize you will not be really entertaining this side of the world, meaning you're only seen by those who are powerful like you, who in that case will be rooting for you. Very strange, but very interesting reading. It's kind of like, ooh, that's our girl, that's our boy, you know? Something like that. And your power gives you so much protection that perhaps on this side cannot be understood or seen. Okay, I need to adjust the camera. Apologies, was adjusting the camera. But we were talking about how you're perceived. And so I would say you come and go without anyone ever knowing just how powerful you are. No one will ever know. You come playing a role to correcting errors quietly. Like whatever is being done here, whatever corruption is coming here, is happening here, you're here to demolish it, correct errors, and calmly go back. So it's like just a one-time lifetime in Earth, because maybe you were never meant to come here or something. When it comes to your archetype, so let's get down to basics, to the core of the reading. I mean, when it comes to your archetype, honestly, as I look at your story and your role and everything, as you coming into what's seen as a humanoid, you're much more bigger and powerful than that. I would say when it comes to the archetypes, you don't take you're not an archetype, you're not one. I have a feeling that you embody them all. But if we were to speak about what archetype you appear to be, right? What people would feel you are, or other than the powerful beings recognizing you, if people were to like put you in a box, soul box, that you don't fit in, I would say you would be perceived as the jester archetype, which is an archetype that appreciates change, is all about creating surprises, appreciates beauty, is known to have like amazing intellect, sees the world as their crazy playground of opportunities, an archetype that just knows how to make a change, makes bold changes, makes bold moves, because they don't conform to societal norms. They don't, again, even in the human form, they don't fit in boxes. They don't follow anything. They just follow what's right or what they want to do. They just know that they have power of creation, the ones that they are able to create what they want. They're boldly original, and they don't really fit into a box. So if someone were to like put you in a spiritual archetype box, they would say, oh, pile number 2 is more likely a jester. But really, if we look at your reading, it's very hard. I think you're beyond all of that. You give me this feeling that you are a soul that transcended all of this, but is here to make a difference. Is not too worried about the recognition, really. They're quietly coming here to fix an error that's been creating corruption over time, and quietly go back to their heaven. It's like goodbye and go back. Yeah, that's really what I am seeing here. And thus, this is why you're very protected. You can't be hit. But that doesn't mean you shouldn't be careful either. Just taking your regular precautions. Okay, so especially, I just channeled something. You want to be careful, not just for you, but you're being careful because it's not about you being hurt, really, or something happening to you, but you don't want to sort of mess up what you came here to do, and that's why you're going to be careful. All right. You're not rushing to play your role or to create or fix things. You're not rushing. You're going to take your good time to make sure that it's built in a powerful way, and that this, whatever you've built, will stay and stand the test of time. There's something about with the Ten of Pentacles that lets me know that you're gonna be very abundant in this lifetime. You could be already living this super abundant life, or you are going to live a very abundant life, because this abundance will give you more options with the Seven of Tides, Seven of Pentacles. Will give you more options, will give you the resources that you need to be able to launch or get into whatever you came here to do or fix. So you're going to be very blessed with that. Like I said, it's specifically there to give you all of the options needed to make this thing launch. So I see you launching something with the Three of Wands. Launching something. Right? I'll put the deck here so we can check what it is that you're going to launch. Or maybe you're going to help humanity. You're going to help through enlightenment and help humanity rise. Did this come up in pile number one? The air balloon. Oh my God. Pile number one had an air balloon, and we were talking about less density and how enlightenment helps raise the collective. You must check pile number one. I highly recommend it if you're drawn to it and you want to expand on your reading and what you're going to do. So that's definitely there. But I see you here launching something, right? And elevating everyone, or elevating something. Yeah, I guess we've read the cards that we have on the table. You're here to protect, guard, and make something grow. Make something grow and guard it. Guard something from the hands of corruption. Maybe you're even gonna launch it this year, or at least you're gonna start playing your role seriously this year. Maybe this year is the year you get your abundance in order to have the many choices to launch this, or maybe this is the year where you're gonna launch something that will give you this abundance to have the many choices. Let's see. Let's get more information here. First of all, what are you launching? And if the cards can help us with the story itself, what's happening this year? Yeah, what's happening this year? So what are you launching and what is happening this year? What are you launching and what's happening this year? Okay, so you are launching the Magician. Wow, okay, that's serious. You're tapping into your skills this year, tapping into your magic. You're bringing out your magic, releasing your magic this year. Two of Wands, the Two of Swords. Whoa, and the Moon. Look at the eye. What are you launching this year? What has to do with eye? Watching a movie? Observing something? I think this year, what do we say? Launch a movie? Launch a series? It looks to me like this year you're gonna launch something that will make everyone, that will grab everybody's attention. And seeing it as the Moon and the Magician, you know what this makes me feel? The Two of Swords, mystery, you know, the unseen with the Two of Swords, Magician, magic, the Moon, something mysterious. It looks to me like you are launching this year something that will grab people's attention. People will be, what's the word, ogling, staring at something intensely. What's the word? Ogle. Ogle. So you're going to launch something that's so mysterious. The Two of Swords, something people haven't seen before. That is part, I was going to say part human, part the magic of your soul, that's definitely there, because look at what are the coincidence, like part dragon, right? But I was going to say part human, not really. I want to say it's part machine. We did say you're going to use either AI or machine or computers or technology. It's half technology, half your magic, in a human shape, human form. So it looks like a human being has done it. Look at the bats here, which makes everyone wonder. You know, bats can't see. They navigate through ultrasonic waves. So I would see the wonder here is, how can a human do that? How can they build something like that? Oh, I guess it must be the technology. I guess people would guess, but it's still brilliant. And the thing is, it has your essence, your soul's magic. And so people go, that's a gesture archetype. That's why they're able to do something brilliant like that. And maybe if you didn't watch this reading, you would think the same. But really, the reason you're able to create something so brilliant, so beyond human talent, dare I say, is that will make people ogle in that way. Please send me a link. Please remember me when you do that. I would love to ogle. I would love to see. But it will make people go, whoa, what is that? Is that even possible? Wow. That's what I'm seeing. This year, you're launching something that hasn't been seen before. And it's full of creativity with the Seven of Cups. It expands people's imagination. Dare I say, I predict that this will be making you live in what feels like Eden, the Garden of Eden, and live a very well-off life, luxurious life. That is meant to happen this year, 2025. Please don't take timing with a grain of salt. But it could be another year adding up to the number 5. It could be this year. It could be something that begins this year that leads to what we're seeing in your cards. But that's the energy we have here. So that's the talent. That's what you're launching this year. That will lead to the wealth that allows you to have many options, to bring something even higher, which is your important mission. Okay, and what was the second question? How is that happening this year? Right, we keep reaching that same question. How is this happening this year? So you've got the 4 of fire, the 4 of wands, as well as the 8 of tides, which is the 8 of cups. 4 of wands and the 8 of cups. How is this happening this year? There's definitely an elevation this year, a launch, something growing, you even celebrating a particular big milestone this year. I even see many people celebrating you. You know, the 4 of wands is like many people celebrating someone or a union or an event. So I see many people celebrating you. And that leads to also the launching of you finally being totally on that path with the 8 of cups, you moving towards that path. So the launch happens this year. Everybody ogles at this type of capability. How can a human be capable of something ingenious like this? And we understand now it's part technology, part your magic. You're going to take your time. You're not rushing to make this happen. I feel like from this year onwards, you're going to be spending the rest of your life imagining and creating this. We get, again, the scales, the snakes, all of these beautiful reptilian colors. Again, we get to see that you have an imagination that expands far and wide. You're going to be doing things that would seem to other people, the Seven of Cups, like it's building castles in the sky, so to speak. Like that's the card. It's like you're going to be building humongous things that people would have never thought was possible to begin with, like crazy things. And I see that that's going to be a huge milestone. And from then onwards, you're moving towards that path in particular. Maybe this is moving towards that path in particular could mean that maybe that's a side, something that you're doing on the side next to your work. Maybe you're not working. I don't know, of course, what your story is, but I'm just trying to guess. Maybe you're going to do something aside your studies, aside of your job. And then that's going to become your specific path. Maybe here you're going to partner with someone, but then you're going to go on a path alone. It does feel like the hermit here in this Eight of Cups. Yeah, but in any case, I see a full focus this towards maybe the end of this year or somewhere in this year. You're like, I can totally focus on that. Yeah. And that is exactly what I see, my dear pile number 2. Really, to say that your reading was super intriguing. It's making me ogle. Really. Very, very interesting reading. To say that would be an understatement. I really enjoyed it. I wish you the best of luck on your mission. It's so sweet to see how you're coming here softly, fixing something. You know, you're not about the attention or anything at all. Not that attention is bad in any way, shape, or form. It's just that it melts my heart how you're coming here to do something quietly and you're leaving off to your beautiful world again. And my dear pile number 2, this is exactly what I see in your reading. I wish you the best of luck in your endeavor. Thank you for everything. And if you've enjoyed your reading, please give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel so that you never miss a reading that I upload. And my dear pile number 2, I'll catch you in the next reading. Bye! Pile number 2, I forgot to pull out your blind spot. If you did not, like if anyone didn't see it, maybe they're not meant to see it. If you do see this, if you do happen to see it, then this is for you. I will read out to you your blind spot very quickly so that you are aware of what you might want to do to launch this year. So this is the sigil number 25. And let's quickly take a look at what it says. Number 25. So it's resistance. It says if you have drawn this sigil, you are in resistance. You are not admitting that a tug of war is occurring within you or a tug of war is occurring between yourself and someone else. To understand resistance perfectly, I want you to imagine a stream with a fast-moving current. In this current, there is a boat. This boat has 6 oarsmen in it, each of whom have a paddle. Some of the oarsmen are paddling downstream with the current. Some of them are paddling upstream against the current. The oarsmen who are trying to paddle the boat upstream are in resistance. They are in resistance to the current itself. They are in resistance to the oarsmen who are also trying to paddle the boat downstream. Resistance is nothing more than opposition. It is any oppositional force. We can meet with opposition from the outside, and we can meet with opposition from the inside. Resistance from the outside is external people, events, and circumstances opposing you. But internal and external resistance go hand in hand. If you have drawn this sigil, you don't get to tell yourself that other people are resisting to you. So it isn't your issue. This universe is a time-space reality that is based on the law of mirroring. So the resistance we encounter on the outside is a reflection of internal resistance that exists, usually internal resistance that we are unaware of. That being said, if you have drawn this sigil, it means one part of you is resisting another part of you, or you are resisting something or someone else. When it comes to internal resistance, an oppositional force, and therefore resistance can come in the form of thoughts, words, actions. So I would say it seems like there is a resistance to begin something, to launch something. Maybe you're the jester. Maybe you have a brilliant idea and you're passionate about something, but you haven't started it. And you could feel like there is resistance on the outside, but I can't begin this because of this, maybe because of my job, maybe because I have to do this, maybe I have obligations, maybe I have responsibilities, maybe I don't have the means to do it. It seems like there are a lot of resistance. But at the end of the day, they are pointing towards an internal resistance. And so you're being guided to notice that and to think about how you can lean in to this rather than oppose it. Are there things you can do to feel better about it? And maybe sometimes it's about dipping your toes. You thinking that something can't be done, but once you dip your toes, you're like, it's not that bad. So that's what I'm kind of feeling for this pile. If you are resisting something that you're passionate about, that you really want to begin, I would say you're guided to go for it. Dip your toes. Try it out. You might just love it. Give it time is what I would say. Give it time to try it out. You might just love it, and you might find that you are in fact capable of doing it. So that is your message, my dear pile number 2. If you want to watch pile number 3, it's there as well. But yeah, that's the message that I see for you, and I wish you the best of luck. Hi, pile number 3. Welcome to your reading. Today we're taking a look at your soul's archetype, as well as what role are you meant to play in this lifetime. So these are the decks that I'll be using for your reading. If you're interested in knowing the names of any of them, you'll find that I always list them below for you guys. This is an archetype deck, and the way I want to use this is that I don't want to exactly take that archetype, although if it's so clear, I will definitely take it as your soul archetype. Again, unless it's so clear, I want to read it in the context of your reading. So if it matches that exact archetype, I will use it as the archetype. If not, then I will understand in the context of your reading what exactly your archetype is. So that's the plan. This is a deck all about blind spots, which I won't be using now, but I will be using in your reading later to find out what your blind spot is, so that you know what's maybe standing in your way when it comes to your role, or to starting your role, or that maybe something that you need to maybe heal in order to live a better life. We'll find out, depending on the context of the reading, of course. But very quickly, let me introduce your pile to you. Your crystal is the beautiful Smokey Quartz. Your significator card is the Death card. And if you've picked your pile using your zodiac signs, then in that case, the signs for this pile are Taurus, Leo, Sagittarius, as well as Capricorn. Welcome to your reading. If these are not your signs, please don't worry about it. It's just another way for others to pick their piles as well. Okay, so let's get straight into it. I see that your cards are all ready. And we'll start off with your oracle cards first. So you've got no need to fear. The keywords here are remember how powerful you are. Wow. Okay. Makes me feel like you are going to go through a powerful transformation in your life. And that's when your role will begin. And that's when you'll remember your power. Okay. Wow. You've got the key. You've got the card Faith. You've got the archetype, the Explorer. And look, it's holding an egg. What are the odds? And suddenly I heard in my mind the golden egg. The golden fleece as well is something that's popping in my mind. But anyways, ooh, look at that. You've got the lizard. The lizard is a very tricky archetype. It knows how to color to the shades of its environment. Right, let's take a look at your tarot cards. So, you've got the Three of Cups, the Justice card, Rules of Society is the first thing that hits my mind, and I don't know why that's there. You've got the, maybe this pile, one of you is a lawyer of the people, like maybe something like lawyer in the United Nations or something like that. Human rights lawyer. Very specific, I understand, but just mentioning what I'm seeing. Right, so you've got the Three of Wands, the Six of Cups, the Page of Cups, and finally you've got the Two of Wands. I get from these two that you are not, I get certainty, because with the Two of Wands, you can see someone being wishy-washy, someone not knowing where to go, whereas the Page of Cups knows what they love and what they want. So I see that when it comes to your role, you're not lost there. You really are in love with it. You admire it. Maybe you grew up envisioning it. You're not lost. You know exactly what you want to do in this pile. Three of Wands, it could be launching, right? Maybe you're going through this transformation and you're starting your role. Right, so let's first take a look at your archetype. The Explorer. And we can notice that the Explorer himself or herself has an eye missing. Like, it's as if the Explorer knows exactly where to look at, because on the other eye, I don't know if you can see that, it looks like an N and an M. Let me try to make this visible. It looks like an M and an M. NM, kind of like reminding me of never mind, like I'm not looking in that direction, that's not where the truth is, let me look there, never mind here. I don't know. The Explorer, you're searching for something, you know exactly where to look. Your soul's looking for something. I have a feeling that don't know why I don't want to say that, but there's something about maybe not all of your full capabilities are yet unlocked. When we take a look at your archetype, we can see that you've awoken to a great part of it, but part of it is yet to be discovered. Maybe you're with Nevermind, you're not really paying attention to it, but with the eggs, the minute you start looking, this archetype awakens. What you're not looking at seems to be something that you're afraid of, and you're not realizing just how powerful you are. And the minute you transmute that energy of using what you're afraid of to your benefit and becoming powerful, that part of you awakens, and your role that you're meant to play awakens. We did say that it's launching soon, this year maybe, or maybe on the precipice of this year and the next or something, or between seasons, who knows. But it makes me feel like you're very close to awakening your power, the eggs as well. With the faith, I feel like you know you're going to awaken a power in you. You're just learning how to. Which makes me feel like you're not the explorer. You begin by seeming like you're the explorer because of your high curiosity level. You're someone who wants to soak up all of the information, wants to learn, wants to understand. And once your power awakens, you become the scientist, maybe? You become the wise archetype, the sage. So you go from the explorer to the wise to the sage. You're seeking, constantly seeking truth. You have an eye, a good eye for finding the right information, for finding the truth. And as you go through your own personal transformation, you become the sage, the person that people go to seek wisdom, information, and knowledge. So that is what I believe is your soul archetype. You bring enlightenment to those who seek it. High level, those who seek high level wisdom. You are here to inspire and bring order, balance and order within people and society, in society. I feel like you can see as a wise soul just what is, I don't want to say wrong, but just what needs, where change is needed. You have an eye for that. You can see where society is going wrong, the dynamics in which people deal with each other, how the world is dealing with each other, human behavior as well. And your role is to genuinely bring balance in that area. Also, with the egg, I feel like there will be a focus as well in your lifetime on children, on the little ones. You want to create safety, a safe home environment for children, newborn children, so that society becomes more balanced. That's another focus here. Six of Cups is, by the way, also a card of children. So you're focused on society as a whole, but you want to make it a better place for the next generations as well. So that's another focus and a role that I really see you playing. You genuinely know what you want. And again, with the Two of Wands, you want to bring balance. This is what you love. This is what you really, where your heart is at with the Page of Cups. You want to bring balance to the world, especially when it comes to people and how they deal with each other, their relationships with each other, and making humanity better and evolve, as well as children. There's where the focus at. So I would say, yeah, I don't want to give it labels. I don't want to say what job that could be, because it may not even be a job. It could just be how you're inspiring others. So I don't want to put your role in a box at all. But that's what I'm seeing. Now, you personally are going to go through a huge personal transformation to remember your power, because no need to fear makes me understand that you yourself are overcoming some specific fears that you have, and you are going to find your personal power. I think this is happening for you this year with the Three of Wands. I feel like once that begins, you unlock your true soul archetype, from going to the explorer, like we said, to the wise, to the sage. Dare I say this year, it looks to me. Perhaps you've already gone through a lot in the many years before. You've gained that wisdom. Maybe you're already in that wisdom archetype. And you're finding your power and finding your wisdom, unlocking your true soul potential this year with the Three of Wands. You can see with the Six of Cups that you've gone through a lot. You have massive experience. And so along with your soul's wisdom, you begin with the Page of Cups. Your love for helping and assisting others, and healing with the Page of Cups as well, healing others. And while your archetype specifically may not, it could be it could also be the healer, but I really feel you're more the sage, where those who want to seek your guidance and be part of your light will find you. And that's where your heart is at. There's a wisdom, that's why you're going from the explorer to the wisdom to the sage. There's a wisdom of, it's not about pushing people to change, it's about receiving those that want to change. And that's why we have the changing colors of the lizard. Your soul's energy and archetype changes throughout your life from the different stages, depending on where you are at life, until you reach your full potential. And thus, maybe this is representing inner child. Maybe you're not going to be dealing with children, although it could be. Maybe you are healing other people's inner child, and you're starting first with your own inner child. So whether this is children or other people's inner child, I do see here that you are starting with your inner child, and once you heal that inner child, it will turn out to be the golden egg, and it will unleash your magic. My dear pile number 3. You will find out just how, exactly like the card says, as you heal your inner child, you will remember how powerful you are. And let's explore that. So you've got the Five of Swords. Let's explore that and how that's going to be part of your role. Five of Swords, the Nine of Pentacles, the Six of Swords, the Emperor, wow, talk about power, as well as the Star card. Wow, Emperor and the Star. I do see that this year you're going to start living a happy, fulfilling life. You're going to be content. You're going to start living a content life. The minute you find your power, as you can see with the Five of Swords here, you win over it, you beat it. And we understand that it's about you beating your fears. You right away enter into the energy of being content, also abundant with the Nine of Pentacles. This is right away going to lead to you living an abundant life. And we're speaking spiritually, which means as your energy changes, that right away translates into your outside world. As within, so without. And so we can read in the energy of your cards that the minute you beat this energy, is the same minute that your whole life changes. Have you experienced this before? Like when you decide to make a huge change in your life and you start making that change, and then suddenly things like an opportunity arises, something massive starts changing in your life. You make a new friend, or you get invited to something amazing. That's the kind of energy that we go through whenever we make a massive change within us. And similarly, I see that this year, this begins because you come to balance this year. And there's something about you also being celebrated this year, which means that a massive event is going to happen as soon as you come to balance. This event will redirect the course of your life. And it will allow you to go in the direction that you've always wanted to go towards. It's like, that's what I always wanted. Now you start moving in that direction. We can see that the minute this year you beat these fears, your whole life changes. You're on a new adventure this year. Again, the minute you find your balance, you're not letting go of one energy in favor of another. You're understanding how to stand in your power and work with the two energies. As an example of that, when it comes to fear, you're not breaking down that which you're afraid of. You're just learning how to deal with it, how to stand in your power. When to be available, when not to be available, when to stand up for something, when to let it go. You're getting into a specific type of balance this year, which will bring you a lot of wisdom, and it will allow you to stand in your power. And as we said, this instantly translates to a huge event that shifts the direction of the path that you are in at the moment to a more favorable one, the one you've actually always wanted. So instant gratification, instant results as you do that internal work specifically towards a particular fear that you have, or calming your fears. And you can see that you'll be going somewhere. Look, both are traveling cards, the Three of Wands and the Six of Swords. I must say, this redirection involves going somewhere. Where you're going is going to put you in a very powerful position. You'll be a star there. You'll be shining bright, because now that you've tapped into your true soul archetype, it's almost like your soul can now take you there. You know, you're matching that energy, and thus you're able to pass through the gate, so to speak, and you're able to go there. I see that this year, you're going to end up in a very powerful position somewhere different than where you are. And it is a place where you are going to be shining super bright and financially fulfilled. The Emperor is the leader. The Star, it makes me feel like you're going to be in a super powerful position, just like the energy of your soul, the Sage. Let's explore more on that and where you're going. My dear pile number 3. Let's explore more on that. Okay, so you've got the Ace of Pentacles. This is an absolute new role that you haven't tapped into before. Four of Pentacles, you will have 4 times more of everything that you've had before, like 4, and it doesn't have to be like 4, but it could be the number of zeros, perhaps. Maybe it's the number of zeros. and maybe your wealth is increasing exponentially, or your income is increasing exponentially. And by the way, if you're thinking, how come if I'm doing my divine mission, what does it have to do with money? Money is very much misunderstood. It's one of the blessings of life. And as long as you're using it for the greater good and to take care of yourself and others and to live a good, honest life, there's nothing wrong with it. So yeah, I do see that your income is increasing exponentially. Perhaps these are representing the number of zeros. Like there's a lot of wealth there. Wow, didn't I tell you? My goodness, the 10 of Pentacles. Yeah, it keeps increasing by time to a point of generational wealth, right? What else do we see? The 5 of Pentacles. Oh, wow, that's really nice. Okay. 5 of Pentacles. The 2 of Swords. As well as the King of Swords. So I do see that you will be using this wealth to rectify so much. You will be helping those that need help. And so you will be using this wealth for the greater good. You will be using this wealth with the 2 of Swords and the King of Swords to educate, bring awareness. And you will create a great, powerful community that is genuinely there to serve. So I want to correct something here. That at a point, I said, you're not going to people, people are coming to you. And while that could be right, perhaps I channeled this right, I'm starting to notice that you are there to help. Maybe you're not forcing people to see and with information, but you're doing it indirectly by investing in proper education, investing in proper awareness, putting all of this money to help those that need it. Wow. I really see that your leadership is going to be used for the greater good. You really do want to bring balance in society, and you are going to be taking with the Emperor effective steps to do that. Yeah. The years of information and exploration and making sense out of everything that you've gone through will prove to be vital and powerful in allowing you to help others that need it. Now you know where to look, where not to look, like the important place to look. You're not someone who's easily, let's say, pushed to look in a specific direction. You know where to look. You're like, that's a waste of time, or that's not really where we want to look at. You're very good. You have a good eye at looking at where we need to look. What do we conclude? What do we need to learn to move further? Very keen eye when it comes to that sort of thing. And you're using it to genuinely find balance in society. And you will have a strong role one day that matches your soul archetype. And that begins the second you go through this personal transformation of healing your inner child. And I feel like there's a new generation once you take over that power. There's a new generation of human beings or society, at least where you are or where you have power, which could be like international, who knows? But there's a great generation, new generation, that comes in a much better world and a much better place once you sit on that throne. Since that's the case, let's take a look at your blind spot. And in that way, perhaps this reading can help you pinpoint, oh, thanks, number 18, pinpoint what you're not seeing in order to be able to go through this particular personal transformation and begin your journey. All right, so let's take a look at sigil number 18. And it's about avoidance. Interesting. So it says, if you have drawn this sigil, you're avoiding something that feels too difficult to face. In a way, most psychological blind spots are a form of avoidance. But if you have drawn this sigil, your avoidance is more direct than using a specific strategy, such as fear, to avoid a specific thing. So yeah, we can really see that. You are doing something and potentially all kinds of different things, specifically as strategies to avoid things. Your life is in full-blown avoidance mode. You may be using addictions to avoid facing the pain, which the thing you are addicted to is designed to cover up. You may be not raising concerns or issues or giving an opinion that is more socially correct than your actual opinion, so as to avoid offending anyone and avoid conflict. You may be living a lie so you don't have to admit the truth of yourself to yourself or to others. Or distracting yourself to avoid focusing on anything uncomfortable. Take a look at yourself in the situation at hand. What strategies are you employing specifically to avoid something? What really sets avoidance apart from other blind spots is that you know exactly what it is that you are trying to avoid. Whether you admit it or not, you know. Your blind spot is about the fact that you are the problem in this scenario. You're using all kinds of avoidance strategies, thinking that if you avoid it long enough, one day you will either be able to face it, or the thing you don't want to face will miraculously vanish or resolve itself without you. But the reality is, it won't. If you have drawn this sigil, you are only putting off pain. The time has come to stop avoiding whatever it is you are avoiding. Admit to it and face it directly until the situation is consciously brought to a place of resolution. How do you know that you can't do something unless you step into it? How do you know how good you are if you don't step into it? And so you're fearing something so much, you're avoiding something to your own detriment because you feel like it will do something harmful to you. But how do you know? How do you know that if you don't step into it and try long enough, or as much as needed, that you won't be so powerful that it won't matter anymore, that you will realize you were afraid of something so small and insignificant that it was stealing away time and maybe even your life unnecessarily. So this is actually the energy of your reading. It is specifically saying, remember how powerful you are. And so your reading is showing that what you're afraid of is something that is really beneath you, that you're avoiding something that you can easily overcome. And so your reading is encouraging you to step into your power. And that is by stepping outside of your comfort zone and facing that which you fear once and for all. And you will realize, yes, well, maybe in the beginning, will it be like scary? Will you get perfect results in the beginning? No. But as you step into it and work your way into it, you will realize that, hey, I'm getting the hang out of this. I know how to do this. And you will go through a powerful personal transformation that will show you just how powerful you are. And you won't learn how powerful you are and what type of power you have until you step into it and go through that transmutation, that transformation of doing the hard thing, maybe getting stung in the beginning, facing these fears. It may not be pleasant in the beginning, but as you go through it once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, you will realize, oh my God, I'm able to face this. I'm able to do this. This is not as scary as I thought. But you will never know until you try. And my dear pile number 3, this is exactly what I see in your reading. I truly hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, please give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel so that you never miss a reading that I upload. And my dear pile number 3, I'll catch you in the next reading. Bye!